Within communist Cuba's rigid, unproductive planned economy, agriculture has long been the Achilles heel. Farmers are particularly affected by Cuba's deep economic crisis. In recent years, oxen have become the go-to option to plough the fields. That's because there's not enough diesel for tractors. This farmer says that 5 years ago, his vegetable crop was double what it is today.
There's nothing. There's no fertilizer, there's no herbicide. That makes it hard to prepare the land.
State figures show that in recent years, rice, bean and pork production have decreased. The near elimination of hunger in Cuba was until recently seen as a standout achievement. But now it's rising, spurred by a new layer of sanctions imposed by the Trump and Biden administrations. Neomer has had 24 cows stolen over the last 2 years. Instead of sleeping at home, he now spends his nights watching over his herd.
The biggest problem we're facing is robbery. That's what's affecting us the most during this crisis, and it just doesn't stop.
Cuban farmers can own cows, but by law they must sell all of their milk to the state. Until recently, the state gave a kilogram of powdered milk every month to every Cuban child under 7. That was done by forcing dairy farmers to sell their milk at knockdown prices. But today, production and distribution are faltering, and children's milk is arriving late, if at all. Cuba is ever more dependent on food imports, but there's a cash crunch. Economists say the new sanctions knock billions of dollars a year from the island's foreign exchange earnings. Back in the 1960s, a US State Department memo said the sanctions on Cuba should aim to bring about hunger, desperation, and overthrow of government. That's still the aim, this military historian says.
This is the most dramatic case of international economic warfare aiming, among other things, at agriculture. That's what it's aimed at, and it works.
The market price for milk is now 4 times higher than what the state pays. To make ends meet, farmers are increasingly siphoning off staples to sell on the black market. The upshot is there's less food available at prices people can afford. Sunday saw protests in several provinces in Cuba. One of the chants, we're hungry. Augustin, Jazeera, Ciego de Avila, Cuba.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.